Welcome back to my channel. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm gonna get straight into it. I posted this video on one of my other social media platforms and I've gotten so many questions on what did I do to grow my hair, any secrets, tips, like whatever. So I'm gonna kind of get into that. So this is gonna be a hair growth length retention video. I put hair growth in parentheses because your hair is growing, okay? Believe it or not, your hair is growing. Even if it's at the same length that it was 6 months ago today, it is growing, but you know, breakage is happening at the same rate, unfortunately, which is why you're not seeing the growth. First thing on the list, a clean scalp is a healthy scalp. If your scalp is not clean, that's like literally where the roots of your hair grows from, and that's like where the growth comes from. The growth doesn't come from the ends of your hair, it comes from the top. So if the top is all filled with product buildup and things of that nature, the hair, it's not going to be growing the way that you would hope for it to grow, and you're not going to be able to retain length as good. And another thing with the weekly washes is just the fact that your hair gets water. Like the only place that our hair gets hydration from is water. It gets moisture from products, but hydration from water, and it needs the water in order to grow. So go ahead, water your hair weekly and you'll see, clean roots. Okay, next thing on the list, deep condition and protein treatments. So asking me like what do? I do deep conditions 3 times a month. So I wash my hair every Saturday. So every single Saturday for 3 times out of the month, I am doing a deep condition. And on that 4th Saturday that I am not doing a deep condition, I'm doing a protein treatment just to have that moisture protein balance that our hair needs to grow. And I deep condition and do the protein treatments for a minimum of an hour, and I do it with a heated cap. If you want to know what I deep condition with or what protein treatments I use, below, and I can make a separate video showing and explaining what I use and also showing like the heated cap. Next thing on the list, low manipulation. The more you manipulate your hair, breakage is bound to come. Breakage is what's stopping you from seeing growth. And I'm talking about anything from detangling dry hair. It's just a recipe for breakage. Like dry hair, like it tends to be a bit more brittle, it's less malleable, very fragile, and you brushing it at that state is going to be causing unnecessary breakage. So you can also achieve like low manipulation by doing low manipulation styles. One thing that I do and that I did like for like 95% of the journey is wash and goes, because you literally wash your hair, put in the product, and you go. Have no tension, there's nothing that's tight, like literally there's nothing going on with my hair, so my hair is able to just flow freely without any stress. Not everybody is a wash and go girly. I understand. You can stretch your hair like with a blow dryer if that's the state that your hair feels like the best in. Do twist outs, do braid outs. The only thing that I would say with those styles, like the twist outs and the braid outs, to not keep them in for more than a week if possible. The longer the twist stay in your hair is like it just gives it more opportunity to tangle more and to get matted and knotted and all those things. So that's why when you're taking your twists out after like 3 weeks or a month, you're like pulling the hair apart and little pieces are breaking and snapping off here or there, versus if you took it out just a week in, then you'll have way less of that, making it like a low manipulation style, therefore helping you to achieve the length retention. Next on the list, moisture. Moisture is so important to our hair. Like the more moisturized it is, like the less prone to breakage it will be, because once it's like dry, it turns into being brittle and just easily broken. So I usually try to moisturize my hair with a leave-in conditioner and a cream. So some recommendations, leave that down below and I'll show you guys that as well. But I would definitely start it off with like a leave-in or at least a cream, and then do a gel or then do a mousse on top, because those, like a gel and a mousse, they are a bit more drying than a cream and a leave-in. If you're just doing a gel alone and you're noticing that your hair isn't retaining length, it's because your hair is drying out. Last but not least, no friction slash tension. Tight braids, protective styles, you're compromising your edges, you're compromising your hair for the sake of a style. So it's like, one, take like a second to figure out what it is that you want exactly. Do you want edges, or do you want like the long bust down, 30-inch braids? It's like, or even the wig. So it's like, you have to like, kind of like pick and choose your battles. First, you might do it one time and it's like, okay, everything is good, it's still there. But then after a while of consistently doing these styles, it's like, you're gonna start noticing a difference. Not only is like the braiding hair, continuously using it and not properly moisturizing your hair, very drying to the hair, and it's making it so much more prone to breakage. And then it changes it from a protective style to just damaging your hair. And those slick back buns, they're really cute. I love a good slick back bun. I'm gonna say to stop doing them, but what I will say is, when you get home from like, if you were going out, you're going to work, going to school, like whatever, take out the bun and just redo it in the morning, just so you can release the tension. This is how some people end up getting like traction alopecia, because they've had like these tight styles over and over and over again for like, days on end, for weeks on end sometimes. And you'll begin to notice like a little bald spot like at the top of your head. And, we don't want that. We're trying to like, maintain our hair. So let's just like, loosen our grip on these styles. I'm not going to say, oh, give it up completely, but just take it out when you get back home. Little bonus, trim your ends, because the split ends, they will travel up the shaft. I'm not going to say split ends are going to stop your hair from growing, because your hair grows from the root and your hair doesn't split from the root, but it will cause breakage, because the more that the hair continues to split up the shaft, it becomes more fragile and more prone to dryness, which is going to lead to breakage. So if you see split ends, cut them off. I usually do like one cut for the year, and then on a weekly basis I'll just take a look at my ends and I will cut split ends as I see them. I'll show you guys what I mean by that. I mean, you're not gonna be able to see the hair, but there's a split end here, so I would just take it and just cut it off. So that way I'm not cutting off more than I need to, and that way my ends are like healthier overall, which is gonna promote the length retention. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, leave them down below. Don't forget to subscribe and check out my other social medias down below. Bye, girlies.